Happy Monday. Okay, came out of the game pretty clean. So, like always, a couple of bumps and bruises, but pretty clean. So we'll see what it looks like on Wednesday. Kind of what we said after the game. I thought all three phases executed at a high level. A lot of guys made a lot of plays. Thought the plans were good, attention to detail. Had a good week of practice and played well. So we did have some things, though, that we pointed out that we got to get cleaned up in a hurry. But there's a lot of good, but a lot of learning from the tape, too, today as well. So with that, go ahead.
What were some of the things that you want to clean up?
I mean, just, details of everything, splits and route distribution and timing and pad level and striking blocks and tackling and covering and setup and break and passing up strip attempts, and I could go on and on and on. A lot, but it all impacts winning. What I am enthused about, though, some things that I will not get into with you guys, but some things that we asked to get corrected and that needs to be better moving forward from week 1 to week 2, we got done. So that's a good sign.
Coach, how much does a win like this help? Just the morale, the attitude?
Yeah, I mean, I think they know, like, we played well enough to win, round 2, So today was about, learning, getting better, making sure that we're improving from this last performance, taking the good, taking the bad, and moving on. So, but, yeah, anytime you play well, and the score looks like that, a lot of guys did a lot of good things, you know what I mean? So they're confident, but they know they got to reset themselves, and now it's a new week.
Watching the game back, what did you like about Drew's offensive game plan?
I like everything about Drew, how Drew and his staff does things, I mean, it's the reason he's here. I thought he was, like I said, ahead most of the game, how he was calling it. Didn't have any tendencies, mixed the run and pass well, the different personnel groups that we used, the different actions that we used. He's a stud, man, you know what I mean? But I think again, though, it starts from there, and then it goes to the position of the plan, right, early in the week. Then it goes to the position coaches and getting the details, ironed out, those guys practicing it, and then go and perform. And so it's always going to come down to the players, how much can they execute and win one-on-ones and things like that. But it's a collective unit.
What do you mean by being ahead?
What do I mean by being ahead? Just as a play caller, there's things that go on in the game, especially as you get going on during the season, that I would say, without giving away too many details, to put your guys in position to have a successful play.
On that aspect of improving in details, what does it say about Marvin, who after the game talked about knowing that Kyler's only incompletions were targets to him? He says that's something we got to fix and improve on.
Yeah, he knew he left some meat on the bone. You know what I mean? That was one of the things we talked about today, and how do we get that better, Some of those plays we got to make sure we're doing a good job. But he's a very self-aware person, very smart. He's consistent, self-aware, and he knows he's got stuff he needs to improve on.
At your opening press conference, when you first got the job, you talked about Kyler being one of the reasons why you like this job. But when you see the way he was playing this past weekend, and is that what you envisioned, and how dangerous can this team be when he plays at that level?
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the premier players in the world, you know what I mean? So now he was electric yesterday, you know what I mean? But it takes people around him, too, to make those plays as well. So, yeah, I thought he was outstanding yesterday. Played extremely well, had complete command, played fast. Like I said, made plays with his legs, with his arms, with his arm. I thought the decision-making was really good yesterday. And there's plays that, to our eye, that you would say, oh, that's kind of a routine play, right? But, like, what's going on from before the ball snapped to when the ball is snapped, how fast he's getting that ball to that guy is pretty special. So it just tells me that he's in lockstep with Drew and with what we're trying to get done, and he's never sped up. He's always in control, and he understands what's going on. That's the cool thing for me, the mental part of the game.
Trey Brunson,
is it more important for him to actually just get the reps and learn on the fly? Can he learn stuff by watching what James does in game situations, or is that a
Absolutely.
situation? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we coach. You coach your entire team. Everybody's getting coached on whoever's getting coached that certain play. You're getting coached that. You know, that was always one of my mentors. A huge pet peeve is he'd make the correction, the next guy would go in and he would make the same mistake. It's like, I coached you to do that. Now there is a little bit of, I need some experience to go through it to learn, because I think game reps are the most, the critical ways of learning, and growth. But yeah, everybody gets coached in every play.
There was a lot of success on third down. I think Kyler was 5 for 5 and 2 touchdowns. How important, though, is it to be in mostly manageable third down
Huge.
situations?
I thought we did that. We've done that for the better part of 2 games now. You know what I mean? I know in the second half in Buffalo, off the top of my head, it got a little bit longer there, but I think we remember talking about first half, it was kind of manageable, It's just the playbook is, I would say, you could talk to Drew about it. It's a little more open. As a defensive guy, like 3rd and 5 is significantly different defending 3rd and 5 than 3rd and 10, like way different, So, there's just a lot that goes into that, So I think if we can stay ahead of the sticks, we've done a good job. We got set back in the backed up drive, the 99-yard drive. I think we had the hold, right? And we got out of it. But I think we've done a good job through 2 games of not going backwards. Our pre-snap operation is really good. So the whole phrase of you can't win till you stop from beating yourself, however that phrase goes, I think it's true. And that goes into that. So they're doing a good job of that.
The flip side was that the Rams had a bunch of third down manageables, but a lot of the big plays from the defense came on those.
Yeah, rushing cover, executing. I thought the plan was good with what we're trying to get done, and we had a lot of guys win one-on-one. So, that typically bodes well for you. But, just as far as our third down defense. There's a lot of things we got to clean up from third down too, So, we'll always work to keep improving on that. But they did a good job on third down yesterday, no doubt about it.
Kyler, are you seeing anything different this season than when he came back off the injury and maybe was still getting a feel? Or is this just a continuation?
I think it's just a continuation. And then the more reps he gets with our staff and with the players around him, I think growth will happen.
What was the offensive line doing in the run game to create such big holes?
What do you think? We're creating movement, and it takes, you guys hear me say this, and it's the truth. It takes all 11, like Dortch and Mike Wilson and Marv and Zach Pascal and Chris. They're blocking, well on the perimeter. The tight ends doing a good job of being on the move or negating outside guys or getting up to the second level. And then obviously it starts with the O-line, you know what I mean? So I thought our O-line did a good job and they play a different style. Not a different style, but a style that they play. I thought we really owned in on the details of how we need to block certain things. And there's a room for a lot of improvement with our guys. And they saw that on the tape too. We left a lot of meat on the bone in the run game, but we got the run game going early, and when you can run it or throw it when you want, that's typically a good sign. I will say too, I don't know if you guys knew this, shout out to Beach, 150th start yesterday. How about that? Yeah, Howard, you didn't know that, did you? How about that? 150th start. That's kind of cool. I don't know if I've ever been around a guy 150 starts. So he played well.
How much of a luxury is it just having a guy that can be at the ready like he is?
Yeah, huge. He's a pro. You know what I mean? He's in there as early as anybody is, as late as anybody is, and he gets himself ready to play, and he did a great job for us.
What is it about the Marvin-Kyler connection that just works so well?
We're through 2 games, Josh, Yeah, they played well yesterday, you know what I mean? There's a couple off schedule and then a couple things that we had going for them, but I thought the first touchdown was awesome, obviously. The second one was a little bit of improv. I thought the third down when we're back on that same backed up drive was a little bit improv. When I say improv, the O-line knows and the receivers know we have a quarterback that can extend plays, so we work that. on basically a daily basis. When the play extends and here's where you are in relation to the quarterback, this is what you do. So, and Marvin did it. You know what I mean? Kyler had his eyes up and found him. I thought that was a huge play. But we got to keep it going. There's a lot of things that we got to improve on those guys.
The pass rush has taken a lot of heat the last year or so, but Gardeck and Zaven were really good on Sunday. How do they become more, I guess, consistent, doing that? Because obviously they looked really good on Sunday.
Every game's a new game. That's what I would say. So, it's taking the game plan and it starts with the quarterback. We always talk about the quarterback first and known pass. What does he like to do? The timing of things. How does he move? All those things. Then it goes to protection. What are their protections? That affects how you rush. Then it goes into who they have, the actual people. So I thought they took the game plan, did an excellent job of understanding the game plan and winning their one-on-one. So that needs to be consistent, and we can always do better at that. And I also think, too, it's a good question, valid question. I'm a DB guy. The back end gave them time. You know what I mean? So a lot of times, that's why I say, you talk about, there's no rush. Well, when a guy's uncovered and the ball's getting out, who cares about the rush? You know what I mean? So those two, what I'm saying is, just like the run game of all 11, the pass game is all 11 too. You know what I mean? Rush and cover, cover and rush, they go hand in hand. So I thought the back end did a really good job to allow those guys a little bit of tick of time to get in his face and have it come to fruition. But I thought Zaven, Gardeck, XT had some good rush. I thought they rushed extremely well, and the inside guys rushed well too.
Was there a time, Coach, where yesterday you thought, man, things are going our way today, we got this? I mean, were you surprised by the way it unfolded?
No, I never think that until the whistle sound, until the horn blows. I guess late in the game, we pulled some guys. I thought that was the right thing to do, get some guys some reps. But no, it's got to be foot on the gas, and you got to stay present, and you got to refocus. And as the game changes, then the game changes, right? So I thought it was a really good job by the players to understand. Drew called it different, Nick called it different, and Jeff called it different. Which was applicable to the time and score and all those things, but you got to execute those things. So I thought they did a really good job of staying present and executing what was called.
What was the reasoning behind Dante's inactive?
I just felt like who we put up was the best way to defend him.
We know the respect that there is for James, and he told us that after the game he came here to the facility to get ahead of his recovery. We saw him
He normally does that. Yeah.
What does that say about him?
What do you think, Howard? I mean, he's captain for a reason, one of the best running backs in the league for a reason. If you had to model your game after somebody, that's a guy that you would point to, go do what he does, as it fits to you. And he's a cool leader for us because he can be vocal. He leads by example. He's very positive, but he takes care of himself. That's one of his buckets. He does a really good job of. He fulfills that bucket as his health. You know what I mean? Because he knows that's important to him playing his best so he can help the team win. So if you had to model your game after somebody, you should put jersey 6 on.
Do you give Marvin a pass for reaching out for a touchdown?
No, I don't. We'll keep that in-house, but we talked about it today.
When you have a game like that and Kyler has the perfect quarterback rating, it's probably easy to feel really good about it. How does your next opponent on the schedule, the Lions, come in here and kind of snap everybody back into refocusing here?
Yeah, it doesn't matter who's coming in here. I mean, Brophy could be coming in here, and they're gonna teach it the same. They're gonna approach it the same way. That's what I mean about we got to be process driven. It doesn't matter if you win or lose. What do you do today to get yourself better? And then that goes out of your brain here in a couple hours because we're still trying to improve from this game. But come dinner time, you're resetting yourself for the next opponent. So, and we'll get on to Detroit here. I know the coaches have already, but the players will get on to Detroit here pretty soon.
The situation with what Marv had, why are you against guys reaching out with the ball in that situation?
I'll just keep that to ourselves, Josh, honestly. I mean, I just don't want to talk about it.
Coach, thank you.
Thanks, JG.
Thank you.